everybody. Good morning, people. Good morning, tryhards, all that good stuff. Um, Today is going to be the second edition of the Foggy awareness of Hero-Supe. And again, I just started this segment because I just want to just give out information. Anything that I could give out that could that can make people think, right? Make them think outside of themselves, maybe even outside of the planet. Um, yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, man. So, um, and I was thinking this too while I made this. I was like, um, I don't want to be one of the people that come off like I'm a smart aleck or anything like that. Or I also don't want to to kind of start this and not have much to say, right? It's a weird place that my mind goes to when I want to do these things. But I think that's good though, because it's teaching me that I actually care, right? And I care about the stuff that I say, right? And I don't just want to just be spitballing anything. And at the same time, I don't want to come off like, hey guys, let me make this segment because I know everything, when that's not the case though, right? It's just one of those things where I'm realizing more and more my place in the world. So one thing that I should be doing for my place is giving out information that I learned, man, because it's real fulfilling, man, and it can be surreal. So I'm just going to just jump into just a few things. I got a few things written down that I want to talk about and share. But like I said, it's good information. So the first thing is etymology, right? And I think some of us have heard of that, but for those who haven't, etymology is like the study of like words, like the origin of words, right? Where words come from, right? Like the origin of where words come from. And if we all know anything, right? We have a good understanding that everything has an origin, right? Or at least the majority of things have an origins, because we can at least see those things. We can measure the things. Oh, light's coming from the sun. We see the origin of that light because it's from the sun, right? Oh, there's a baby that's born, right? You can see from the birth to to the end of the baby's life. But if we live long enough to see that kind of thing. And in etymology, it's the origin of the words. And this should be interesting to people because just think of it like this, right? So in the origin of words, okay, like I'm trying to think of like how I should approach this. I'm trying to think of a specific word right now, like oh, so the word that I was tripping off of, I was thinking about this the other day, was like the word program, right? So program, and some of these words actually are compound words. So you got the word program, okay? You have pro and gram, two this compound word. These are actual words. So if you look at the word program, okay, you got pro, which is like a professional, right? Professional, you know what I mean? Probably one of the best at their job, right? Professional, pro. And you got gram. Gram is like a measurement, right? Grams or ounces or whatever, gram. But in more ebonics terms, right? And I guess in a more simplified way, grams is funny because, this is just my opinion, but gram also is like, like drugs, right? Like grams, people always sometimes they refer to drugs and grams. But I'm saying that because, like, if you look at that word and you think about it from an etymology point of view, right? You got professional measurements, right? Something like that, a professional measurement. And, it's like what we're doing in the day to day, right? Like we're all following the program. We're all like, we're all following the professional measurements, right? But what's being measured will be my question, right? The word program, the etymology, the origin of that word, right? And then there's another way of thinking about that too, because our words are very powerful. I'm pretty sure we've all heard the common saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, right? So why would that be a thing? I'm thinking it's a thing because sometimes when we say certain words, right, and we speak certain ways, we don't really know what we're saying, or at least we don't truly know what we're saying. You know what I mean? Like the true definition of our words, right? And that's from an etymology point of view. And you could do this with tons of words, like politics, right? Politics, the word politics. You have poly, right, which means many, right? Poly means many, polygamy, you know what I'm saying? You hear that kind of thing. So poly means many. And ticks, right? Ticks, tick like maybe ticks on a bomb, or ticks like ticks that actually suck blood out of you, right? So when I hear the word politics from an etymology point of view, I hear many bloodsuckers, and I'm not trying to be offensive to any politicians, but like I said, I'm just giving out food for thought, and I'm also trying to educate myself at the same time. So when I hear the word politics, I hear multiple bloodsuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I hear. So, definitely, guys, y'all should, research some etymology and, and start thinking about the words that we use more, right? And even the word, right? Think about, remember the phrase is the sword, the pen is mightier than the sword. And it's funny because when you look at the word, right? Words, if you look at the words and you take S and put it in front of words, it's sword, right? It's funny, but okay. Etymology, guys, look into etymology. Another thing I want to talk about was 666. Okay, now what's funny about 666 is that Christians and a lot of other people, they they think of 666 and they instantly think like the devil, right? Like, oh, it's evil, 666, like, oh my god, it's the worst thing in the world. But upon research, and even me, like, once I was like a hardcore Christian. I'm not a hardcore Christian these days at all, but at one point in time I was like a hardcore Christian too, and I was scared. Anything 666 was scared me. It's the mark of the beast. But again, like, once you guys start educating yourselves, right, and we become enlightened, you realize that 666 is chemical makeup. 666 is inside of everybody. 666 it's the atom, okay? So, it's one of those things where, like, when you are afraid of 666, it's counterintuitive because you're hurting yourself. You know how we speak and we live in our reality. So when you are scared and you're pushing away from 666, that's you. I'll explain. The atom, okay? The atom has 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 6 protons. I'm not talking the neutrinos and all that other kind of stuff. I'm talking about just the basics, okay? We got 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and oh crap, is it protons? Well, but I just say 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Now I do think it's 6 protons though. I do think it's 6 protons, but right, it is a proton. I'm getting protons. I'm pretty sure it's a proton and not a photon, because a photon is light. A proton is inside the atom. I'm pretty sure. But just know that it's the atom. The atom, right? Atoms are inside of everybody. We all. It's not hard to believe that we're all made up of atoms, right? We may not think about it all the time, but we all know we're made up of smaller and smaller energies. That's the atom. The atom is literally 666. 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. Now, how often in our life have we gone through the day, read our Bibles, and listened to people say 666 is the mark of the beast? Bro, 666 is the atom. It's inside of everybody. So why would you deny yourself? Why would you say, oh no, no, 666? When you say no to that, you're saying no to yourself, right? So it's food for thought, right? Like I said, just do some research and do some studying, guys. You'll find some good things if we just take the time to just research stuff, right? And also, I guess lastly, I'll just talk about the lightly, because of course I'm not a genius at these things, but I'll lightly just refresh everybody's memory or enlighten us if we don't know what the 4 fundamental forces of the universe are, right? So the 4 fundamental forces of the universe are gravity, electromagnetism, okay, strong force and weak force. Now, examples of gravity, we see that all the time. Things just have to come down, right? Pick up an apple, it falls. Example of gravity. Electromagnetism is interesting, and I don't want to say it's hard to explain, but it's hard to visualize because, hey, my cat, what the heck? Bro, I hope he stops, because I want to keep this in, because this has been going good so far. That's okay. That's natural. These things happen. Electromagnetism, okay? So you got gravity, okay? Oh, maybe that's my son, actually. That's my son, okay. So wrapping this up, electromagnetism, okay? You got gravity, okay? Just up and down, stuff always falls, right? It always comes back down. You have electromagnetism, which is like light, okay? Electromagnetism, in short, is kind of the idea that electricity and magnetism are one and the same, right? And it's also the idea that something can be a particle and a wave at the same time, mostly the electrons, or basically like photons too. But I don't want to say what specific particle, but it is the idea that particles operate as waves and a particle. Most particles have like I would say, a direction that they're going, right? Like a particle goes from point A to point B, but that's not exactly the wave function, because a wave has a central point and it goes outwards. But that's electromagnetism, because it's the idea that a particle can operate as a particle and a wave at the same time. Electromagnetism. Okay, you got that, gravity, strong force, and weak force. Strong force holds us together, right? It's the reason why we're all not apart now. It's the reason why the sun is together, why your body is together, why the earth's together. That's strong force. It's the force that keeps everything compressed and together. And weak force, one of the examples of weak force that I've heard of is like gamma. So you think of gamma and that radiation, right? Like radiation in a sense, that's weak force, because that's like, it's almost like the leakage of strong force, because strong force is damn near like keeping everything together with the force of like the Big Bang and creation itself. But the weak force is when that immense energy starts to leak, and when it leaks, it becomes gamma. And you can already imagine how harmful gamma and radiation is. It pretty much melts your skin. I think I'll end it on that. Like I said, I don't like to make these too long. I'm trying to keep them roughly around 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys got some food for thought, and just think, people, be outside yourselves, man, and ask more questions and research some stuff, You guys have a good day, man. I'll catch you later.